Yep, just starting with a cough. It's yeah, this is gonna go well. Good morning. Well, I am I am still kind of sick, but I wanted to play some more Stars Reach and thought I would go ahead and stream it since it's just gonna be me. Um I I really want to like push and get to where I can do the housing today. But I'll see what I can get done in a couple of hours. Um, I I don't know. I've been sick for days, so mm, I've lost all sense of time and space. But I don't know. I thought this would be fun. Um, I will try to do a better job. Uh, checking chat later. Um, hi. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Um, this is gonna be pretty low key. I'm just going to be live while I'm playing, but if anybody wants to chat, um, I'll try to pay attention to it. Um, I I'm not good at dragging things out, so I'm gonna get started. Um, all right. Well, let me see. I do have that muted. Let me make sure. Hello. Okay, it's muted. I don't know if the game sounds are going to be too loud this time. I tried to turn them down in window settings. We'll see what happens. I'm going to get the game loaded. It's a shame that I can't play music on Switch because everything's all copyright. Uh I tried to replay Skyrim because I was sick and it's one of my like kind of comfort games. But I've got this Intel graphics card and a lot of the stuff, the mods that I like to use are really aimed at Nvidia users. Okay, that's all right. Think I've got the game loaded. Let me get OBS out of the way. I apologize that I'm going to still be muting quite a bit because I'm sick. Okay, I've got the game loaded. I'm going to make sure I've got some water and then I'm going to get started. Let me change the category. Actually, I'll change the category when I get back. One second. Okay, there. Hopefully, I should be able to drink enough where I'm not just gonna cough the whole time. But we'll see how this goes. All right. We've got no. Okay. There we go. All right. Do we have this? We've got game sounds, audio. All right. Um, I don't hear an echo. Doing good so far. Let me change the category. Okay. All right. Bad start. Gonna keep coughing. All right. We're unmuted. We're gonna try out the game. I'm going to do my absolute best to remember to look over at chat, but this is all still new to me. So I apologize if I don't see your message right away. Um but uh but yeah, let's just chill and explore Stars Reach together. All right. I'm really zoomed in. I must be like up against something. Oh, oh, part of my UI is gone. Okay, so something I do want to. Hello. Alright. Something I do want to do is move my camera over. Oops. So I'm blocking the chat with it instead of the rest of the UI. Because that would. Um, just. Um, um, just. Dog. Alright. Well, all that. There you go. Ugh. Yeah, it does look like they buffed healing. Alright. Alright. I think that OBS might be messing with my mouse a little, and that's why I need to form an ops group at some point. For sure. Yeah. Get those ball logs together. Yeah. Alright. Ah. Alright. Let's. Uh. Alright. No! Alright. I want to see... Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, jackalopes kind of... They're deceptively little monsters. Alright. I want to make sure that my combat's gonna be okay with, if, like, OBS isn't trying to fight for mouse control, because it still feels a little bit wonky. Alright. Oh, oh, Roach Master. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Alright, alright, alright. Oh, you froze me. Come here, you. Ah. Alright. Yeah, I definitely suck more. Definitely suck more right now, because, my... I'm not feels like it's being, kind of split. I'm about to die. I want to see if I can get that figured out, or that's gonna be kind of an ongoing problem. I'm just gonna be dead. Like, a lot. Okay. Let me see if I can kind of put it in the background a little. No, I really want to be able to see chat, and I don't really care that much beyond muting so I don't cough like right into the mic. Okay. There, I've got it kind of in the background. Hopefully I can have a little bit better in-game control. Okay. So this is the like jungle planet. This isn't where I want to be, although it's a really pretty place. I want to go... I'm gonna go to space to go to one of the other biomes. So what I really want to do today, and we'll see if we'll see how I get there, like I really want to unlock building and play with some of the homestead features, but I need to do some mining first because I know I need like salts, crystals, for one of the recipes, and there's some other like crafting materials that I need to collect, and I think, you know, I still have some skill points. Oh, yeah, you can't open... You're not supposed to open skill points except at your camp. So I can't even show it right now. Okay. I think... I think it's the one that's on the roof of this building. So, for anybody not familiar with this, this is Stars Reach. It's an upcoming MMO. And it's currently in the alpha state. It's being created by the developer behind EverQuest Landmark. So there's like the really cool terraforming aspect from that, and Rafe Koster of Stars Galaxies. So it's got a lot of the really cool integrated economy and alternate class types. Oh, you know, just more ways to exist in the world than killing things. From Galaxies is... Well, I don't know if it's returning in its full form. I think you have the ability to do it too right now. Ugh, it was supposed to get on the roof. There we go. But those elements are in here where you can serve a purpose that's not just being a hired gun for people. which is really interesting. And I think the theming works really well for a colonial sci-fi game because it just doesn't make sense for everybody to do everything in a situation where you're effectively trying to rebuild society. You know, if everybody goes out and is the conquering space hero every single day, then you know, your colony back at home is getting invaded because you've left it undefended. So I still like the idea that, you know, somebody has to be there making the space bread every day. You can't just be off like everybody can't just be off gallivanting together. Is this the right planet? Or did I go back to the same one? This looks like a different one. Alright. This is where I'm going to just be for now. So I'm going to go kind of towards the mountains a little, and then I'm going to place a camp. And then get my gun out. Oh good, the sun's coming up. The lighting is really pretty. They had like a slightly more cartoony style, like almost like No Man's Sky, but they did a graphics update recently that has it a little bit more like muted and realistic, and I think it's really pretty. I don't know how well it's translating on stream. Oh, I think something is muted because I actually don't hear the game sounds. I'm realizing. So, we got the desktop audio muted. Oh, the video is really laggy. Let me turn down my graphics and see if that helps. Or if it's just an OBS problem. Uh, let's. Oh, what is like the 2K resolution? It's like 1400 by uh 1280 by 960. Was that it? No, that's square. Um, that still doesn't look right. Okay. No, that made a weird square. Um, oh, okay, it's OBS because my camera's laggy too. Okay. Let me make sure I've got like Intel Arc open because that's supposed to help. Um, like I've got a very decent graphics card, but it's not supported by things natively. Oh, it's fine now? Okay. Yeah. I the game loads in 4K because of my monitor. So I think I was just okay. I'm gonna make sure that I've got Arc running so that it doesn't get laggy again. Um no. Okay. Because it just manages it a little bit better. Come here, you. Alright, I'm gonna put it back in there. I like full screen for a second. Because I don't know what it's gonna show on my computer. Okay. Select control. There we go. Okay. It wasn't loaded, so that was probably a big part of it. Let me see if there's a specific settings for Stars Reach yet. No, there's not. Okay. Yeah. Um, Overloading the system. No, see that's oh, it's been laggy for a while. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the graphics card is like got more than enough power, but because it's not like NVIDIA or AMD, it's not natively supported, so it doesn't even know to use it. So sometimes I end up with like performance problems. But yeah, loading Arc should help it. Let me know if it gets laggy again, and I'll see what else I can do. But I'm gonna leave this up. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the game. I'm sorry about that. Uh, why won't Edge close? I I don't like Microsoft Edge. I hate when it just randomly opens. I never use it. There we go. Okay. Um, yeah, like my system is definitely not overloaded. Even with everything running, I'm using like less than 10% of it. So it's kind of annoying that it works that way. Okay. Let me check really quick what the uh 2K resolution. Okay. We 2056 by 1400. I'm gonna see if that's an option. Oh, by 1440. There we go. Okay. All right. I've got the game graphics turned down. Oh, no, that quits the whole game. Ugh. I'm really bad at this. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. We want gameplay. Okay. Yeah, I'm turning it down for 4K because if that's not even gonna show on Twitch anyway. Uh, so hopefully that'll stop the whole stream from getting crunchy, but yeah, I forgot to load Arc before I started the stream. Oh, loading. Okay. Let me see. Yes. Okay. So got the graphics turned down since it's not going to show on Twitch anyway. Um, I'll get back to it. Thank you. That's really understanding. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's a whole different animal just playing a normal game versus trying to like stream it. Like Um, even me, like I think like like Twitch streamers seem like such idiots, but when you think about the fact that they're like they're not even multitasking, they're doing like a bunch of different things at once. I feel kind of bad for what I've thought about them now, you know, because just your attention gets split by so many things. Um, but it is really cool to be able to kind of talk in real time. Uh, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna go off, yeah, find me a big ass pit and then go down and do some mining because I really want to try to push to get a house today. It's dark. I can't tell, but I don't think this is lava, so I'm gonna drop a camp here. If it is, then, I'll get to use the camp pretty quick. Alright. And I wanna... Oh. Okay. Let me see. Leave. Okay, this makes like blocks, and this is where I'll be making the wall pieces once I get them unlocked. I need, come on. Okay. I've got everything unlocked in combat, so that can kind of they got mods and tech guys and stuff. Yeah. And if we talk about the big ones, okay. Yeah, well then you absolutely know how overwhelming it can be at times. Yeah, like when I made my very first YouTube video, like the audio was absolutely terrible because I had checked the audio beforehand, and then when I went to record, I nervously like grabbed the mic and put it close to my mouth, and like it's echoey and bad, and I didn't even like listen back to it. So it's so embarrassing to me that I uploaded that and it's my most popular video. And I just, I like people will still comment on it as if it's currently happening. Like they're like, "Hey, your audio is bad." It's like I can't do anything. It was 6 months ago. Like I wish I could go back and fix it. But at least with this, like I'm actually live, so I can do something about it. But yeah, like I mistakes will be made. But yeah, I do understand that like I'm competing for like time and attention with people that are doing a much better job at everything, like every single aspect of it than me. So I do still feel the need to apologize. But yeah. Um oh sorry. Okay. The fading is really cool. I'll probably be unlocking like it going faster. But was it forestry? No, that's tree planting. Okay, ranger. Oh, I actually have everything unlocked that I need for building homes. I just don't have the what civil engineering. I think civil engineering is probably what I need to be working on today to try to get to where I can build. I've got the Instaformer unlocked. I think that's like a resurfacing tool. Um, so most of these skills are leveled up by doing it. Like again, I've unlocked everything in combat. Because I've just ran around like aimlessly enough. Um, and and yeah, like well, you don't compete. Everybody does their own thing. You do your own thing. Don't think, just do. As a level 80, I really know how how useful this advice can be. Yeah, that's that's like true in its own way. Like everybody has like something unique that they can bring to the table, like that makes them appealing or not. But at the same time, it is sort of zero sum where, you know, oh, I know. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. But yeah, right now you could absolutely be doing something better with your time, and I appreciate that you're not. Like, if that makes sense, you know, like, I got a Mordrum, a Primarch, for Christmas, and I want to assemble and paint him. But but then there was a Stars Reach test today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to play Stars Reach. So like, I'm even competing for my own time and attention. So I have things that I'd probably be better at. But no, I'm enjoying this. Yeah, I want a chill trader with a bunch of weird plants. The director was actually saying that you're gonna have the ability to collect seeds and have different plants from other biomes that you can plant in your yard. You can already plant normal ones now, and that's gonna be really cool. And oh, cool! Astria six-sided oracles. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. And there might even be like a space biodome later, which would be a mid-maxer's dream to be able to just do space mining, but then have like all the planet biome stuff too, so you can kind of like gather like a personal herb garden. But I think more realistically, it'll be nice to have like a little You know, I have a yard with like some cactus because you know, deserts are pretty, but they just don't appeal to me. So I don't really want to live on a desert planet, even in a fictional setting. So it's kind of nice that I could just go there and gather some, or just grow it in my yard. Um, okay, so I think civil engineering is probably what I need to work on, like windows and wall sets. There it is. So I have to use the Instaformer, and that is, I'm pretty sure it's a function of the terraformer. Let me move this really quick. Okay, terraforming, uh, phrasing, prospecting, extracting. Okay, I'm gonna check. I'm pretty sure that using this terraformer, whoa, and making a mess is gonna be how I'm going to unlock civil engineering enough that I can build walls. So I'm going to just... I'm gonna do this for a little bit and see if I've got more points in it. Oh, wait, it's giving me an error message. Oh, I need at least 12 stacks of glass door to terraform. Okay, so I can't do it empty, which makes me wonder how I'm supposed to level it to begin with. Okay, let's look. Okay. Yeah. So I wonder how I'm supposed to level civil engineering if I can't do civil engineering yet. Other people have figured it out because there's an entire city, but they are not me. Okay. I'm going to assume it might have something to do with a homestead. So I might place one. I've just lost my window. 1 second. Uh, okay. There. It was kind of in the way, but that's where it needs to live. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna do some mining, even though that's not quite the goal I wanted. A garnet. That's cool. Alright. I want to set this to checking resources, extracting. Okay. I'm gonna go dig a big ass hole over here. It looks like people have already been doing that, so okay. Glass shale, sand. Okay, somebody has already blasted this into glass, so that's cool. I will be able to use all of this to make the tiles later anyway. Alright. I can extract on the surface, but I actually want to dig a hole for my own protection because there are roaming mobs in this game, and it is very multiplayer, cooperative, encouraging because a lot of the mobs are pretty tough, especially with your default blaster. You can unlock a cool tooltip like let me empty my hopper. Is that you? Q. Okay. Uh, Q. There we go. I've buried myself emptying my hopper, so I have to remember to take a step and not just get impatient. Okay. It really encourages cooperation because the mobs are tough, and you can get better at it, in time, but it's just better. It's better to have somebody with you, and failing that, it's better to have a little bit more protection than just being out in the open, so I'm gonna dig a hole and go into the hill. to mine. Oh, it is so dark right now. And rather than completely burying myself in this hole, I'm going to be coming out to empty out the hopper. Because I don't know for sure if it was me, but it the glitching started in the part of the world I was in specifically. So I think I might have glitched out the server by doing that inside of too narrow of a space a couple of days ago. So I'm going to avoid that. Um Although breaking stuff is part of the testing process, I think everybody would be pretty upset if we had a really long test period today that got shortened. So I'm going to be nice. Alright. We're going to dig some more. Get some shale. Okay. We've got a pretty big opening now. I'm gonna melt it and see what other materials I can get. So I don't just have an endless amount of shale and no variety. Okay. No. And this is so cool. Just how much you're able to change the world around you with the in-game tools like that you can completely just dig holes and resurface and apply heat or cold and change the structural compound. So like you oh, crystal, thank god. All right, there we go. There's like a shield that makes combat not so bad that I've been wanting to craft, but I needed like 10 crystal to make it. Oh, yeah, the sun's out. It's all pretty now. Oh, alright. Where's the... Okay, I've resaved. I'm gonna see if I can craft that yet. It's the fortress shield. No, any more pyrazine. Tungsten for that. Okay, this one, gemstone. No, I still don't have a stack of 20. But I've got the plastic and magnetite. Magnetite? Oh, I'm sure like some of these like material names are really cute references that I'm missing. And I'm going to feel silly later when they're pointed out to me. Alright. But yeah. I want to make this grav mesh and these shields and the grapple gun. But everything needs gemstone. There's a... I'm gonna cough. There's a Wikipedia page in game that tells me where I can get the crystals. Okay, I can just get them from the terraformer, so maybe they're just a low drop rate. Like, and I just need to stick to one spot and mine long enough. But there's also some industrial ones, so I wonder if those are... if they can be, like, fabricated somehow, or if they're just found. That's what I should check. Would that be... Okay, it wouldn't be under tool makers. I wonder if it'd be under the oven. Like, that's... No. No, just plastic and oil. Okay. Magnetite is a mineral and one of the main iron ores with the chemical formula iron, and O2O4. Oh, is the oxide, and is fermogenic. Okay, so it's just like just an actual scientific name for a material. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Okay, well, that's definitely not one of the references that I'm missing. That's really cool. Yeah, no, in Star Wars Galaxy, like a couple of the items were like obscure references. The ones I wasn't familiar with, but this is just me having a lack of knowledge of minerals. Then, okay, that's really cool. And hi, welcome. Um, all right, I feel silly anyway. I'm gonna go back in and do some more mining and just see how far I can get. I'm going to empty the hopper. I'm going to forget every single time which key does that. It's Q, and I will forget every time. Uh, and go back in the cave that I was making. Alright. Empty. Oh, yeah, you can climb in this game, which I think is really nice. Since you can make big assholes. Because, I don't I don't know this for sure because I wasn't playing Landmark when it was like first a thing, but I think, the ability for people. Oh, it's just from Wikipedia? Okay. Well, it's good that it's not something I should have known. Oh! Somebody's house is right here. This is not my hole. Okay. Well, then I hope that I don't collapse their house. Where's the hole I started? I just made it. Oh, it's right next to theirs. Oh, whoops. Uh, okay, it was Wikipedia. Well, I mean, still, it's cool that, I didn't even know, like, how to pronounce the word, and now I know a little bit more about it. It's an iron compound. Um, but yeah. Um, let's see. I want to, I want to turn the tool onto, uh, chronoflaging. Okay. This applies heat and changes the chemical structure so it drops something different. Uh, I want to unlock the cold version of this, so I'm gonna do it more. Uh, maybe the cold version will make crystals. I don't know. Okay, now it's set to extracting. Uh, okay, bare peat, shale, versus. I just want some salt. Uh, schist. See, I don't know what schist is. Let me see. Alright. But it's nice. Like, I don't know. I think it's nice that you can, like, learn something from games. Like, a lot of what I know about, like, medieval warfare or, like, medieval professions is just from, like, playing a bunch of RPGs or D&D. Like, I know more about, how, like, clothing and armor works from, from just playing games, so it's kind of cool to be able to learn stuff you never knew, just passively, like, I remember, like, learning obscure professions, like a cooper made barrels and, like, a chandler made candles, and I would have had no reason to know that, like, just in normal life, but it made sense, like, in a game that had candle and barrel making, as, like, part of their production line. I was I was thinking about this. I didn't realize. Yeah, learning is cool. The more you know. Yeah. No, no, but it can be like to learn some pretty like obscure, like forgotten knowledge just by like playing a game and not really thinking about it. Like it's like the way you kind of blend vegetables into a smoothie. You're having a good time and you're accidentally learning, and that can be cool. I don't know, but I used to play this game. God, like I am so old. I mean, obviously, like I am so excited about this game in particular because I did enjoy Star Wars Galaxies like so much, and that game was 20 years ago, right? So, but this other game I played is still kicking somehow, and it's a 15-year-old historical fiction pirate MMO that has like boat PvP in it and like an economy based around boat PvP. Pirates of the Burning Sea. It was a really cool game. I enjoyed. It had great writing. Like you have to nerd as hard as you can nerd to enjoy that kind of thing. But uh oh no, no, no. I'm not being sarcastic either. I've got like a little bit I'm still sick, so if I sound sarcastic, it's unfortunately just like nasal congestion. Like I I am being genuine and that I think it's a good thing. Like so yeah, I bet I oh, I'm gonna be oh no, I am really having a good time. Like no, I, I yeah, I can't really get my tone across very well, but no, I think it is a good thing to accidentally learn something, um, because it's it's multitasking, it's having fun, and I've filled up my hopper. Okay, where did I put the entrance? Up there. All right. Um, but yeah, I was playing Pirates of the Burning Sea, and I didn't know like Ligum Vitae uh was a real tree. Like I didn't know that that was a real type of wood. Um for some of us graybeards. Oh, I had Math Blaster. Like yeah, as one of our first learning games. Oh my gosh. Like we had a mm, okay, I'm not going to do that thing where like I'm an indoorsy type. Like this is me tropical. So I think that just makes me like appear or I'm a vampire, maybe. I think that's probably what it is. Um I don't appear to be the eldritch demon I actually am. But yeah, like I remember playing like the old like Apple Macintosh like learning games in school. Like it was all math pyramids and like one that I okay, I can't even say it because like, it'll carbon date me, but like yeah, like there I can't but yeah, even Oregon Trail, like which was like one of the few ones that like we had in school when computers like cost like several black market organs for each one. Mm. Um, even playing Oregon Trail, like I didn't know what dysentery was like from school, and I learned it from Oregon Trail. Not that that's the most useful thing to learn. Oh, Apple IIe, yes. Yeah, with the giants, like they were actually floppy floppies. Like, oh my gosh. I remember I was on the cross country team where we would like go to school early and jog every morning. Math Buster was a hoot. Oregon Trail was a blast. Yeah, they were. Yeah. No, like, cause um, I don't. You like Eldritch Demons? Okay. Well, uh, stay in a while and listen. All right. Let me. Okay. Uh. Yeah. No. I was on the cross country team where we would go to school early and jog, and that was considered a sport. Um. And the coach for it was our computer lab. You learned English from Lands of Lore, HOOM3, and XCOM. Okay. All right then. Well, um, I don't know what some of that is. So, but hey, you're in good company. I'm so glad to be here nerding out about this game with you. Like, so um but yeah, the cross country coach, right? Um he ran the computer lab, and you had to be the biggest nerd, like, to even know how to use a computer. Like, the idea, oh, Heroes of Might and Magic. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. No, no, no. I've heard of it. I just apparently have acronym blindness. Yeah, yeah, of course, Heroes of Might and Magic. That's really cool that you learned English from it. Where no, I was about to ask you where you're from, but you don't have to tell me that if you don't want to. I'm interested if you want to tell me, but I respect your privacy if you don't want to. But that's really cool that you were able to learn English that way. Um, when I was in high school, my boyfriend's mom was born in Spain, and she learned English watching Sesame Street with her sons. Like, because like a lot of it had like English and Spanish. Like, she was from like Spain, like that's Spanish, but yeah, like, so it's really cool to be able to learn a new language by like just playing something in fun. That's really taking learning to a new level. Pharaoh. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Moldova. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. No, no. Okay. It's really impressive that you were able to learn English, because and I'm not saying this like as an insult. I'm saying this is just genuinely how I feel about it. When I look at Russian, like, written out, it looks like a foreign language to me. Like, the letters look like they're just a little bit wrong. Like, you know how like there's like the AI generated words where they're not words at all. Like, that's kind of what my brain does when I see like Russian. I'm like, oh, like the letters just intimidate me so much. So that's really impressive that you were able to learn such a different language than you originally spoke. Like, especially like through a game. That's really cool. Uh, I can find Moldova on a map, but I don't know anything about the country. So that's really cool. Let me see. Cyrillic is a beast. Absolutely. Yeah. It just upsets my brain to look at it. Like with like some like romanized, like the Romance languages, or or Greek based languages. It's close enough, even with like a couple of different letters. The cool Cthulhu of languages, that is a perfect way of putting it. Yeah. Like, seriously, I feel like if I try to sound it out loud, my furniture is gonna move around. Like, I really, it just doesn't make as much sense to me as like seeing like the Romanized English letters that I'm used to. Even like seeing like runic, or something more like rudimentary or something. It doesn't like just strike me as ooh, like the way that Cyrillic does. Even what is the the language that Aramaic, right? Like the really really loopy. Even that one doesn't your furniture moves around all the time. Well, that must be really convenient. Like you can like just kind of like uh summon some Eldritch horrors to like help you like move between like it's like ooh Pirapat. Like no wait, that Pirapat's not Russia. That's the Soviet Union. I think the Voynich manuscript has Cthulhu language. Yes. Yeah, there's just something so intimidating about it. Like, so yeah, um, I speak I speak mostly one language badly, and I'm really impressed whenever somebody can like master multiple languages. Like, I've tried to learn a few languages over the year, and no, you've never heard about the game Catch the Pan? No. So, let me cough really quick. No, what is Catch the Pan about? Is it like my mind is like going crazy because I'm like, oh, is it like panning for gold like a mining simulator? Or is it like or like Pan like the Greek god Pan when Pan goes alive you try to catch and cook it. Huh. Oh, like Cooking Mama? Like the one like okay. Nope, never heard about that one. But that's pretty interesting. Uh, I yeah, like I've played. See, I just like games like so much. I remember when I was younger, like whenever like you had to actually go to a store and buy things, like nothing like could just materialize in your house the way that it does now. And by the way, I prefer the way it is now because it's amazing every time. Like, you can buy a game digitally and like instantly download it. The Eldritch Pan, don't worry about it. Oh, oh, right. Yes. Yes, don't fear the unknown. The unknown can't hurt you until you know of its existence, right? Like, there was like the Doctor Who episode like Blink where, as long as like you were like staring at the little angel statues, they couldn't like come get you. So, yeah. Cool. The Eldritch Pan can't hurt me because I don't believe in it. That's yeah. I think I'm protected by a lot of things by ignorance of them. Okay. I've forgotten. Okay. We want to do chronophagy. I might not be able to do this because I might have already burned this as much as I can. Find a game. Oh my god. Yes, I have the biggest like the most biggest embarrassing backlog of games that I got during like a Steam sale or a GOG sale, and they just like live there going, "Come on, come on." And I'm like, "Look, you're a really cool game. I've heard amazing things about you. I can't wait to play you, but I need to load Skyrim for the 600th time instead." So, I'm sorry. Like I really, like you're great. Like and some of them I'm embarrassed. Like one that I really really want to finish is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like I've not finished that game for so long that the sequel's about to come out. And it was like such a good game and I really want to get to the point where I finished it before I play 2, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It's going to be out in February. And you know, this is the pace at which I play games. Same with Warframe, 200 hours. Everybody's got their like go-to comfort game. Like for me, it's Fallout, like all of them, and Elder Scrolls games, and then going back and replaying the entirety of a BioWare series, like um and of course MMOs, like. And so it's so hard for me to go, no, I'm gonna like sit down and play this new one. Like I know I'm gonna like it. I know it's gonna be like a good time and then I can, play through it and finish it. But it's so hard to like not just go back to those comfort ones. I'll go back and explore games a lot. Okay, as a game developer, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like it must feel like an archaeological dig to like go back and play like older games and kind of see what sort of like just magic they had to use to try to get something to work with more limited restraints back in the day, when you had to like fit it all on a disc. The way that they were able to kind of creatively reuse assets and to try to like get things to look as good as they could with like really limited like space to be able to do so. Like I was watching I'm gonna mute 1 second. All right. Kind of both. Old and obscure and new and obscure. Yes. Yeah, there are some really cool indie ideas. Relate. I've been sitting on SMT, 5, Soul Hackers 2, SH2, etc. I'm playing Path of Exile or Forza Horizon. Hey, no, Forza's a good, like there is something with like the controls of that one that's like just better than like most of the other racing games, and like the sound that they're able to get. Like I'm not like a big stickler for realism. Like I will play like a game that's got, uh just a completely like black wall texture, if it's good. But there's some games where you're like, okay, I absolutely see the appeal of it, and like yeah, like Forza is like one of those where I'm like, oh my god, like I can just like feel the car rumbling like through the controller, like I don't know. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Path of Exile as well. I uh I trade out Path of Exile 2 because Path of Exile 1 still intimidates the crap out of me because of just how difficult it is to get Orbs of Regret, because I really like to play around and try out different stuff, and I'm gonna make the biggest mistake. And so the gold to respec instead of the orbs is why I was waiting for 2. But I'm like, I had a lot of fun with 2 so far. I put it down to play some other things, but I'm gonna play it a lot more like as they finish early access on it. Um, but yeah, I that being said, like I bought maybe like 10 um games, because Steam's like, hey, 90% off, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna absolutely buy this banger of a game for like $6 or $3. Like that's how they get you, you know. I let me Okay, I'm safe in this cave. Let me look. All right, Steam profile. I've got 273 games, and I don't want to think about how few of those I've actually played. Um, the Carrick Vault Pass, so I have to commit to it. Yeah, yeah. Well, as I see it, I know they're gonna support the game for 10 years. So like that $35, and they give you the cash shop equivalent of it too. It's nothing to support their efforts because like from what I've seen of the game so far, it's so good. Like the quality is so good, and and a really good foundation for them to build on. So I have no problem supporting them, but like I'm fortunate enough to be able to. But yeah, like I think if I was worried, you know, like because I mean, like, there's no amount of money you can have where, like, if you don't budget, it's not going to matter, to some extent. So like, I try not to be crazy with like my purchases of anything, but with Path of Exile 2, I totally felt good supporting them because I know for sure I'm going to go back and play the game like a lot. Like, if there's ever a Guild Wars 3, I won't like lose a wink of sleep supporting Guild Wars because like their first two games were so good and so well supported. So with any like buy to play game or Path of Exile 2 will be free once it's fully launched. I don't mind supporting games like that at all, but I totally understand that nagging feeling like, oh, I've bought this, now I have to play it. That's like a big reason that I don't like to play MMOs as much because I feel like I'm like, oh, that 50 cents a day is just ticking away if I don't get on and play with like the subscription cost, even though, $15 just isn't what it was in 2005. Like, I'm going to lurk back and forth, need to do some chores, keep this streaming, fun to talk to and watch. Oh, thank you. That was so nice of you to say. I really appreciate it. I am stumbling blindly, and that I am going to ride that compliment for the rest of the day. So thank you. That's really nice. Um, but yeah, like I I don't know. Part of the reason that I do just pull the trigger and actually like buy games when they're on sale is to try to like force myself to go and play them because like I've heard great things about them and I want to. I got a cough again. Hang on. Uh, I want to be able to go and play them. Curex Cosmetic Pass on GGG, uh, and they got me. However, I thought it was a traditional battle pass. Oh, akin to D4's battle pass. No, it's a support and get the stuff, which I think is just such a better model because that's something that's just always bothered me about battle passes. So it's like you're paying for the chance of getting all of the stuff that you pay for, assuming that you put the work in and play too. The most recent battle pass I bought was in New World, where it was like, okay, so you can get extra stuff if you do your task in New World every day. Um, I got busy, so I missed out on half of the stuff that I paid for because I just wasn't able to get on and do my dailies and do my chores to unlock the rest of the stuff. And that just really left me with like kind of a bitter taste in my mouth. Like, I paid for this and I didn't get it. So that's like a big reason I don't like battle passes. But yeah, like with grinding your games supporter packs, uh how did I just Oh, somebody healed in my camp. Like, I was wondering why I was suddenly not wounded. Okay. Um, yeah, gambling in a game is horrible now. Oh, absolutely. I like I am not a fan at all of like not understanding what you're paying for and not getting what you're paying for. So like I'm not a fan of loot boxes anyway. I would rather and it sucks, but it's easier to say no to do it this way. I would rather things cost more. Like Diablo has like $40 horses, which is stupid, but you know, it's better for everybody to pay $40 for a horse if they're going to do something like that with their money. I'm not whatever. I don't know their financial situation. Maybe they can afford things like that, but I mean, it's stupid to me. Like I'm not paying $40 for a horse. Like I didn't even buy the Oblivion horse armor like for $2, so I'm never gonna pay 40. But I don't like the idea that like some people might pay $1, some people might pay $2,000, for the same skin. So I really don't like the loot, like the paid loot boxes. I have no problem with loot boxes, the randomly generated items. That's any boss chest is gonna be like the same mechanics. But when you involve real money, yeah, pinched death by 1,000 cuts, absolutely. Yeah, because it's like one little naggingly bad monetization practice isn't the biggest deal, but when you stack and stack and stack them, like, Diablo, it's like $70 box price, like 20 or 30 extra dollars to play a couple of days early, and then they've got, battle passes, they've got the really expensive cosmetic items, and and that kind of like incentive to make the in-game earnable ones look worse so that you buy the store ones instead. And they've put more effort into their store, having like a rotating inventory that's like reactive to what kind of character you're playing, than they did in like how their seasons would work. And big shock, less people enjoy the game. Less people enjoy Diablo 4 than still enjoy Diablo 2. And what has changed besides just, um, hang on. Yeah, like what's really changed besides the monetization? Well, there was a dip in quality, but I mean that's not a positive change. So it's not surprising that people are gonna go back and play the old version that's better. Um, or they're going to play other ARPGs. Like there's obviously there's like Path of Exile, and there's Last Epoch, and there's some like more obscure ones like Undecember, and uh what there's like the Korean crazy pay to win like Lost Ark. There's like a bunch of other ARPGs to choose from. So, uh games like that like just they can't survive. You know, Diablo sold like a lot of copies. I mean, it's already made a bunch of money, but like it doesn't have the long-term like legs of its previous or of its predecessors. Like more people are probably playing Diablo 2 than 4 right now. And it's just a shame to see it, but but yeah, Blizzard got me with those practices. The class looks bland. I bought myself cosmetics to differentiate myself from other players. And you have to wonder in the back of your mind, like, did they intentionally make you look bland and kind of blend in to encourage you to get the nicer looking store items, Then it starts to, oh, it feels a little gross. Like it doesn't feel like they're, you're supporting them because you're happy and having fun. It feels like they're kind of inching you that way. Marketer led games versus designer led games, absolutely. So like anytime I see games like this one, where it's like passion first, like the people creating this game have dreamed about this game existing for years, and they've worked on like a long time of like refining ideas that are precious to them, and they're just making like a fun good experience. So like I really like to shine a light on things like this when it's good, and like wag a finger and tut like whatever. It's everybody knows what it is. Like yeah, there's like the meme that was started at the Path of Exile con, like D4 bad. Like what, they just sort of said it D4 bad on the stage, and everybody latched onto that. And it's a shame that like, you know, the unofficial tagline of your game is that it's bad, but they earned it, Like they released it like as a full release in an early access state, and it just shows, and like they just bled players. I'm not just trying to not trying to shame Blizzard. I'm a long-term Blizzard fan. I played Warcraft for years. I like a lot of their stuff. I really like StarCraft. I don't mean to shame them, but it's like how the mighty have fallen, there was just a quality and like a love in like the older like Blizzard games, just like a hardness to them that was so appealing. They were exactly what they were, and they weren't anything else. And just to see what they've become over the years is just really disheartening, you know? Like, uh, Warcraft was a market leader because it was a really good game, and then like they just stopped. Like they just let it get worse over time and not better, and just it sucks to see it, you know? But at the same time, like when a mighty tree falls in the forest, it lets a lot of sunlight in to let all the other little trees have their chance. And you know, maybe there's like gonna be a really cool MMO or RTS or anything else that springs into existence like in the hole that they leave by failing their audience. Activision seeped its culture and damaged Blizzard's heart and soul. Oh, I absolutely believe that. Uh, the problem is companies like Blizzard isn't Blizzard anymore. The people with the heart mostly left. Yeah, so I'm gonna cough and then say it. Yeah, Chris Metzen left for a while and he returned, but you don't see his influence yet. With there was like the three expansion thing planned, and the War Within doesn't look any different to me than like BFA. Like it's still the same old problems, but and some new ones. um, but yeah, like Ghostcrawler that worked at Blizzard. Went off and just started a different company. And he's actually making like a really cool RTS that harkens back to Warcraft 3 and like the older ones. And I'm really excited to see stuff like that happen because, they're able to go back and make the games that they would have been wanting to make all this time. But it's a shame they had to leave, but it's good that they were able to kind of cut ties from a company that just didn't resonate with them anymore, and they're able to go off and make the games that they wanted to make. And yeah, like I've seen a little bit of the RTS. It looks really good. I haven't played it myself. I will Google what it's called because I've forgotten. But I think that's really cool. I gotta put out a new camp because I let my camp despawn. Uh, okay. Camp. The reason I'm doing this is because I will have a run back if I don't. Okay. I'm gonna go down in my hole so I don't get ganked while I'm up for a second. But I will. Where'd my hole go? There it is. No, this is the house that I was. All right. There's my hole. Get in there. Okay. Uh, I will be right back. I'm just going to mute I just had to get some more water because I don't want to have as much of a cough, so I'm trying to keep drinking because that seems to help a little. Um okay. We're gonna do some mining. Another thing, might need some warm tea. Oh, yeah, that would probably help. I'm I've got I've got a Keurig machine. I'm gonna start like a cup of tea. I had some coffee, but I've run out of it. 1 second. I did I not mute? Oh well. If you hear any mechanical monster noises in the background, it is it is just the tea brewing. I have a normal teapot and everything to do like nice loose teas, but I don't want to spend that much time AFK. So I've just got a little like, you know, push the tea button that makes it like faster when I don't want to be asked. Oh no. Uh don't paint yourself into a corner. Don't burn yourself into a mining pit. All right. I'm going to prospect. All right. Uh erodes to clay soil. Okay. I'm just not going to get salt from here. So, I wonder if I should just go to space and mine there. Uh I suppose I can just set down a side shale. Yeah. I'm going to I'm gonna go ahead to space and mine there and see what I can get done. I don't know if that's where salts come from because it's really nice when games are not solved and there's not like, 4 different wikis on every single item, but it's also like it's nice to be able to have that sense of adventure and find everything out for yourself, but when you just want to know, it can be a little frustrating. Um, all right. I want to go up this way, I think, back to the portal to leave the planet. um, the movement is really cool in this. There's a jetpack. I just don't have it unlocked yet. But they made like little decisions like that. Like they could have absolutely had the ability. Oh, it's so pretty. Uh, they could have absolutely had the ability to fly, and they tried it out and realized that like it's um it's more fun and engaging to, have to have your boots on the ground, have to rest and be able to just fly a little bit in a yeah, I miss MMOs that allowed you to explore on your own too. Yeah, like I like I like the story in games sometimes, but other times it feels like welcome to the story museum. Don't touch anything. Please stay in the lines, Like I I couldn't unsee it once I saw it, but like BioWare games, it's like you are only designated to leave the story areas to go to monster hallways between story areas. Don't venture out anywhere. And like when you see it, you can't unsee it. Like the invisible walls are not invisible in that one. So it is kind of nice to just have wild, crazy expanses to explore. I'm like personally I'm not opposed to like procedural generation or things like that. See, players built these houses. Oh, I was standing at one. Yeah, like whatever this is, like it's cool. Somebody's got like a vision and they get to express it. And that's, like he's building something at the base. Oh, cool. He put Christmas lights on it. Yeah. He Story railroads are okay. That there are a lot of paths to go on. Oh, like Star Ocean amounts of paths, like where it's like you could never possibly play all versions, or like Mass Effect, where it's like there's kind of three choices, but not really. Like or like the older Fallout games where your choices had a little bit more weight. Um, One problem with games like that is it doesn't feel good to know that your choices lock out other choices, but it's what has to happen, right? Like there has to be a point of no return where like you've made a choice that affects the rest of your gameplay. Cuz like if you end up with like a Bethesda game where it's like why is the archmage of the Mages College head of the Thieves Guild, right? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like the it's nice to have the freedom to be able to do everything in one playthrough, but like it doesn't make a lot of sense like story wise for like you know like one guy to show up and buy every available house in the whole like realm. Like that kind of sucks. Like you know so I don't know, like I'm kind of back and forth. Like restrictions don't feel good when you don't get to do something you want to do, but they're necessary. Like see, they're they haven't put a floor in or a roof on yet, but they've got like these walls that they've built. So this is gonna turn into something, and oh my goodness, like they have like really cool views of this valley, and they're over here by whoever this is. It's like gonna build a bunch of windows in theirs, which that's gonna look great when it's done. Um, so yeah, like I want to get to the point where I can build, but I am easily distracted. So it's gonna take a couple more playtests probably for me to get there if I don't do it today. Um, Speaking of distracted, I was heading back to the yeah, there it is. I was heading back to the portal to go to space because I want some crystal. And I don't know for sure where you mine that from, but I'm going to assume from an asteroid. I'm going to get to the portal, so I'm safe-ish. uh, Choices need consequences, otherwise it's kind of pointless. The older Dragon Age games were really good at that. They were not... the older Age games weren't afraid to hurt you or anybody else's feelings, and I feel like that's where they really missed the mark in like the most recent two. With 3 you could kind of feel that they were getting that way, but with 4 you can't hurt somebody's feelings, and it's like you could be like the biggest asshole in like older BioWare games if that's what you wanted to do. Like you could be a renegade shepherd or like you know, um, you could you could just be like just kind of awful in Origins or even in 2. Um, and I feel like, BioWare has kind of lost their teeth. I don't know if the people pushing for those decisions have left or if there was just a cultural shift within the company, but you can really feel it when you play like the newer games versus the older ones. Like, BioWare has made some of my favorite games. Uh, oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Your message got held. Let me be an asshole. Uh, I've got to, yeah, like be an asshole in a game. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have these silly mods or bots modding for me right now. The Sith Lord and KOTOR, exactly. Like, let me be, uh, let me be, you know, an orphan kicker, like a dog kicker if I want to. Because it's, it's a game and we're exploring things, and maybe I want to be the shiniest shiny paladin and like save everybody and help everybody, and like, and that be like a flaw in itself, because it's like, okay, well, while you were busy putting out the fire to save the orphans, somebody was blowing up a hospital, like, let me deal with these consequences. You just put them in the game for me to find. Um, yeah, you could be evil in KOTOR. You could be evil in SWOTOR. And probably some of the funniest moments in that game was when I tried briefly to play a dark side Jedi, because they they really want you to think about what you're doing when you do that. Like, I remember, like, even on the very beginning, like Planet Tython, there was this point where it was like, hey, do you save this evasive alien species like baby or not? And if you're playing like a dark Jedi, it's like, no, I'll kill it myself, like, or there was like this aggressive alien that had like force powers. It's like, do you let them get trained as a Jedi so they're not a threat to people? And the dark side choice was, no, I'm gonna boot him into a fire. Like, so your character goes and kicks him into a giant fire. Like, he's done. Threat threat neutralized, right? Like, that's your two options. The light side is he joins the Jedi Order and they kind of keep a watch on him. The dark side is you kick him into a fire. And that's freedom. Like, you know, like, just the difference between the two choices. Even though it only mattered for that one quest, you really felt the difference when you made different choices in the game. And then that was like one of BioWare's strengths and something like I really enjoyed. The the Emperor, or like Vitiate, or later on Valkyrian, the main villain in a lot of the DLCs, not DLCs, are they really expansions? I don't know. Like, I treated SWOTOR like it was a single player game for a lot of it, so I don't really think of it as an MMO. But Vitiate is probably one of my favorite characters ever, because they made him less they made him more evil. Like, they expanded the scope of how evil he was, but they made him more likable and charismatic the more the story went on. And you started like, you know, you started thinking, hey, this prime evil terrible person has some pretty good ideas, like, towards the end of it. Because there was like a level of nuance and care that was done to the story. I couldn't do it in KOTOR. It felt so wrong for Revan to be a Sith. Well, see, but that's the thing. Like, Revan was like one of the best examples of a gray Jedi, um, like in Stars, like expanded universe canon, at least, because Revan made some pretty dark choices in later stories where you're not Revan. And he struggled so much with it, his soul split. Like, there was Shadow of Revan storyline where where like he literally separated into two different entities, where he was like dark and light Revan, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle. There's a reason why lore accurate Revan was right side. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes like the brightest light, when it gets put out, can make the darkest impression. Like, I really like the idea that Revan was light sided, but it's, if somebody good like falls, like the idea that it's a much steeper like valley for them to fall into. Like, I don't know. Like you played original Kotor. Did you play through like the Kotor storyline, where they had him? What is the phrase like? Sometimes the greatest evil is done with good intentions. Like they had him thinking he was helping, but he did terrible things. Like, and that sort of works for a good intentioned bad character. Like, that he was kind of split and rejoined and had to sort of heal after like the choices that he had made. Like, I think I think complexity like that is good in fiction, although like I think that BioWare should have left Revan alone. Okay, you've played SWTOR, SWTOR and KOTOR fully. Yeah. So like it probably didn't feel good for a character that you had such a personal connection to be brought back in the story like a zombie. Like, but I don't know. I liked I liked what they did with the character. Like, but I like the idea of examining, like, even if you think you're a good person, that like it's hard to be completely good because there's always a bad side. There's always something you're not seeing. Like, you try to do your best, you try to make good choices, and there's choices that aren't that great that you could be making in the background. Like, I don't know. Hang on. But yeah, I could see like if you really enjoyed light-sided Revan that you probably didn't want the character brought back like in the story like that. Like I didn't like oh the way to hell is paved with good intentions. I skipped KOTOR, didn't buy the Dosh for the sub, or didn't have the Dosh for the sub, and by the time it went free to play, I wasn't interested anymore. Um it's it's honestly it's if you like story at all, it's absolutely worth playing once. It's not as good of an experience as a free player, but it's really worth seeing. Um, it's my intention, and you know, I intend to do a lot of things, and I don't know how much that's going to work in practice, but it's my intention to go back and record one of the class stories and all of the DLC stories. So I've got kind of like an archive of it should SWTOR, eventually shut down, because I just really am a big fan of the stories. So, like there's plenty of playthroughs like already around. If you're interested in seeing it and you don't really want to go through it yourself because, the gameplay's not wonderful. It's BioWare. It's fine, but I would never play a BioWare game for the combat. The only I'm gonna cough again. Ironically, the only BioWare game where I've really enjoyed the combat was Mass Effect Andromeda. Um, and that was because like I played with like a mod that made the jetpack mechanic a little bit more fun. And like I Anthem had good combat, but who cares? Like no one wanted to play Anthem. Let me see. I stand by the fact that for Jedi to be truly invulnerable to the dark side, he has to know it. He can be corrupted or hurt by something. You can't be corrupted or hurt by something you know. That's why Qui-Gon or Yoda could never be corrupted. Absolutely. Yeah, like you you can't shield yourself from something you don't understand. Because like the reason it's so intoxicating is because like there's a what the the cult of the void, like they sort of like there's like an intrigue almost in the unknown um that can be like intoxicating. But if you fully understand a concept and can really objectively see it for what it is, it's a lot easier to not like be seduced by it, because you can understand um that objectively it's a bad choice. You can really see it for what it is if you take a step back and and have a more academic understanding of how the world works. You can make more informed, like moral choices within the world. I totally agree. Darksider Revan was a strategic genius, and the Starforge at his disposal. That's why it makes sense for lore. He would have wiped out the Republic with ease. Yeah, but his goal wasn't to only wipe out the Republic; it was to wipe out the Empire too. Um, and then that starts to make you go, okay, well then, who's left? The Ravenanites, like wiping out both sides and being replaced with sycophants, like like to what end? you know because it wouldn't have been long, because like um he was obviously, I mean, with no he was separated from his good side at all, so he couldn't see, the problems. When when you're effectively evil, you don't see the problems with not having some like good in it too. Um, I feel like if only his followers were left, it wouldn't have been long before he starts turning on his followers. It's like, okay, well, half of these people aren't as loyal. Let's turn them on each other. Then you're left with nobody, right? Like, so I thought that was a pretty interesting story. Like he wasn't just trying to wipe out the Republic. Yeah, he would have built his own empire most likely. Exactly. He would have become the empire emperor he was eventually he was trying to stop. Like he would have become Valkyrian himself. Um because you do need to have that touch of good in you to be able to make choices for the greater good. And I think some of the best villains do have that pragmatism where they understand, like you still need, you can't just be lol evil. You got to think about long-term consequences of your actions to some extent, because if you've got an empire of heads on pikes, you're not really ruling anybody at that point. He couldn't use the Star Forge. He realizes it screws with your force powers, so like it did in the return. Uh, didn't the Star Forge crash on what was that? Like okay, I'm stopping now so you can play and I'll keep cleaning. I'm I'm sorry. Like yeah, I am not good at I am not good at multitasking. Yeah, I know. I've been like standing at this portal. Uh I would have loved old school LucasArts games and Old Republic. We need Cold War games like that. Yeah, absolutely. Like Lucas went to film school and was like interested in sci-fi. Like he made THX, right? And then he was also really interested in race car driving, and he was in a okay. He was in a racing accident that left him in the hospital for months. And during that time, he read a lot of books, and some of those books were on World War II dogfighting, and that was what inspired the space dogfighting scenes in Star Wars. Um, and it's like it, they you need to have like kind of a timeout from things. Oh, this is somebody's house, or somebody built the structure. Uh no, yeah, like it's got a got a homestead mesh around it. That's cool. I didn't know if anybody had built anything yet. I don't know if this is a player or a developer. I really like how you anchor to a point in space, like even though it's like upside down or not. Um, but he had to like take the time and sit out and draw a new inspiration, and he ended up with coming up with like something really really unique. Like even just the word like Star Wars, because a lot of sci-fi was man versus wild, where it was just, you know, people exploring and they're in the aliens, um and you weren't really getting the, okay, well, you know, we've done some exploring and now we're back to fighting humans but on a new playing field. um so a lot of the ideas in Star Wars only exist because he was in a, you know, in a car accident and was inspired in a new way. Um, so I think it's nice when when creators, like authors or otherwise, have a chance to get out of their comfort zone, whether or not they want to, um, because they end up being inspired by things that are totally different from. Hi, happy to catch a live stream. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I hope to stream more once I can nail down a regular time to do it. But this kind of random one is this game, Stars Reach, has limited times that we can get on the servers to test it. So I thought I should. I'm gonna cough. Hang on. I thought I should go live while I was playing it, because it's really cool that I get to, and not a lot of people are in to see it at all. So, you know, it's kind of fun to just chill and talk. Sometimes when you're playing games where they don't need a lot of your attention, like I don't need to give mining my full attention, although it's a lot of fun. So it's nice to be able to just chat about other stuff at the same time. Did I unmute? I did. All right. So I'm in space looking for I think it's Q. I'm in space looking for salts, but I don't know if they're here, or crystal formations. I'm gonna check whatever this green glowing stuff is to see if it's a crystal. Uranium! Oh no! I wonder if uranium's gonna hurt me if I've got it in my inventory. Like if I'm gonna get like slow uranium damage. Would true invulnerability to the dark side imply a balance to an individual's emotions and rational self? You mentioned a good point, the call of the void. It kind of seems like the dark side user answers that call due to insecurity and lack of balance and understanding of self. Yeah, absolutely. You know, like the idea that like hurt people hurt people. Um, if you are going through something yourself, it's hard for you to see beyond yourself at how your actions are affecting others in an objective way. And the best way to handle any situation is with knowledge and greater understanding of the situation as a whole. So if you aren't personally as close to something, you're able to have a more objective viewpoint on it. So I would think like really early on in a controlled setting, um, that it would benefit the Jedis to have sort of a tolerance, like training session with the dark side, instead of being, you know, teetotaling about it, where it's like, don't use any dark side powers at all. Don't learn about it. Don't understand the tenets. You're in space. I say you've got radiation protection without the uranium ore. Oh, that's a good point. Like I'm probably shielded from the uranium damage just being in space. Oh, maybe. Ah, I wonder what happens if I melt the uranium. Like, am I about to explode it by trying to, let me, what if we burn uranium? Okay. I was curious if it was gonna, like explode bigger. Oh, it did! It made this big, like, thick, oh, it made like a big thick pile. What comes out of it? Prospecting. I've got an error message I can't read. I have a little like pop out window blocking part of my game screen. Okay. Pyrene. Okay. Uh, don't. Don't burn your uranium, it would seem. Jedi Kobayashi Maru test. Yes! Yeah, exactly. Like, what are the Mary Ellens? Like, the ones that can, like, see, like, the force alignment? No, Kobayashi Maru was the different... What species was he? I believe the one trick of the dark side is thinking that people can be invulnerable. Many people thought they would only do good, but they became monsters they sought not to be. The fight against the dark side is never ending. Uh, to pay a price for power. Well, that's the thing, because if you believe you're good, but you've never been tested, then you can get pretty far into being bad before even understanding. Oh, Star Trek. Okay. You can be pretty deep into doing some terrible stuff before it even like you would even like understand how bad you're being, and it would be hard for people to get through to you because you're so convinced that you're a good person. You think you're doing stuff for bad things for a good reason, and it's probably really easy to dig in, especially if you have no especially like if you have this sort of I just am a good person, you've just accepted that. Like I can see and then that's where like a lot of the interesting stories happen where it's like, nobody's infallible. Nobody is just this pillar of virtue that they think they are if they've never been tested, if they've never been tempted, if they've never had a touch of power or influence like, and left to to say like, do you know when to stop? Do you know when's too far? Like, how could they? Like, there's no limit testing. Like, there's no restraints. So yeah, I could absolutely see that being a problem. Uh, manganese. Is manganese a crystal? To be honest, Jedis were blinded by their righteousness a lot of the times. Like with Anakin, one that will bring balance to the Force. There are hundreds of Jedi in the galaxy and only a couple of Sith. Hello, balance. Well, to be fair, the Sith have a little bit of a diminishing return on training because, in a lot of the situations, the Sith acolyte really comes into full power when they destroy their master. So it's a little harder to train Sith than Jedi if you have the snake eating its own tail, where it's like it's almost like one faction is Highlander, where like the Sithiest Sith that ever Sithed is going to be one of the only ones left around because they were taken out the lesser Siths. So whereas the Jedi have the go forth and multiply approach, so it would make sense that there'd be like a lot more Jedi, especially since they're socially accepted and you know most points in history, even like the High Republic, there's like the tension because it's like, you know, are they the baddies? Do we know if they're the baddies? You know, like, but with Sith, um, they're right, but okay, hang on. Learning the dark side is not only to keep you invulnerable. Let me see. You learn an abuse of power. You must continuously fight to not slip into that abuse, especially for good reasons. But that's the thing. If you are losing it, how do you know like, how do you know internally that you've gone too far? Like, a lot of people say, like, people have gotten out of touch, right? Because you spend so much time in your own head that you can't see your actions as objectively as an outside observer could. Don't the Jedi do some silly, you can't be a Master Jedi, although you clearly should be test, and then, ooh, surprise Pikachu face, have the worst Sith ever, like Freedom Dad and Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because, like, the Sith really preach strength and independence, and the Jedi really teach, camaraderie and, mutual accountability, right? Like, you report to your trainer, your trainer reports to somebody else, and they report to the council, and there's just these layers of bureaucracy. Whereas with the Sith, it's let me see. Well, the order, they were blinded by the dogma too, rigid and inflexible. Yes, because a lot of times they refuse to do the right thing because of their morality, um, where they ended up doing bad by omission because they weren't willing to go in and help. They had to debate it first, or they decided that that wasn't the best choice. Um, because again, like you can be completely good in theory, but it starts to fall apart really fast in practice. Darth Bane rules of two. Yes, the because he was more doomed. But with the rule of two, if like, does that work either? Because if you have two Sith, um at what point does one of them not want to usurp the other one's power? Like, can you constantly strive for self-improvement and feel like you're on equal footing with somebody else? Or wouldn't that like cause a problem as well? Slater, old school, didn't have the rule of two, except with a few exceptions. Yeah, like some of the retcon this stuff is brings up really interesting points, but like almost every hey wait what about this has a but what about this that follows up to it, because it was like um like the Acolyte was bad. Oh, it was bad. Um, I'm not saying it was a good show at all, but they had a um Green Lady, Venestra. She had her Jedi light whip, and everybody wanted to see that. But what you do see of it is scars on her former Padawan's back. um, so like they were going to introduce her as a flawed character that was supposed to be on the good side. I didn't like the whole premise of like the creators of the show wanting to undermine the Jedi instead of the Jedi's own hubris undermining themselves. Like, I thought that was a bad way to do it, but it could have been interesting to explore if it had been handled by better people. But that would have been an interesting show. Like, I was more interested in the show that was going to happen off screen than what they actually put on the screen. It was terrible. Um, the Jedi must be disciplined to hold your emotions and not let the dark side take over. It's a never-ending training. The dogma was thinking they could never do evil for undoing to a point. And that's exactly the point. Are you really good if you're constantly struggling with wanting to make bad choices? Like, if you had a more objective, balanced step back from it, wouldn't it be less tempting? Wouldn't it not be a constant struggle? Like, you know, if you were trying to diet, right? And you just had like a cloche of donuts sitting on your desk at all times, like just sitting there, and at any point you could open the lid and just have a donut, wouldn't that be way harder than if you like have like the ability to have a donut and know that they don't taste like super wonderful, you know, like you mostly just you kind of want one because like you're not eating enough calories or something. I know it's a silly analogy, but I'm saying like maybe they shouldn't just have the constant temptation right there in their peripheral, or we wouldn't have so many of them like slip into it. Like um the key point of the rule of two was the backstabbing. Exactly. Then when the student beats the master, he becomes the master and takes on another student and so forth. The succession of the stronger and stronger Sith. Yeah, but it has diminishing returns. Like, you know, a Jedi can train multiple Padawans over multiple generations before they're done. So you end up with like 30 Jedi and like 4 Sith in the same timeline. So that's why there would be more Jedi. Um, it isn't a perfect plan, but it's better than thousand Sith playing a Mexican standoff at all times. Exactly. There's like the meme with the Spider-Mans where they're all pointing guns at each other, right? Like, and that's like the Sith whole structure where you're always trying to measure yourself up against other Sith, and you're trying to be not only the best version of yourself, but more powerful than others on that should be on equal footing with you. And the Jedi push for equal footing. You know, like they're saying, hey, work on yourself, reduce, you know, they were more like monks almost. Where it's like, you know, reduce your desire, reduce your reduce the draw and the temptation of things instead of you know, the inner quest for like power that like the Sith would have in their training. Um the price of the power is the constant lure of abuse. The dark side, you don't want to be around that lure, then don't learn the force. Well, you're born with force abilities. You don't choose to become a Jedi. The Jedi find you, and choose to train you, or the Sith find you and choose to use you. So like you don't really get a choice. It's not very Disney, but you know, your choice is to be trained by one side or killed. Like if you are born with force powers, because you are useful or dangerous, and they will neutralize a threat one way or another by training you or just killing you, because they can't have people with that level of power free to make their own choices, either way. Like you're becoming a part of one of them, if you were born that way. Like they will they would go and take orphans like samurai monks. Ever like the Hidden Fortress? The plot is very much like A New Hope. I haven't, but now I really want to. I'm gonna write that down. Let's see. Kurosawa Hidden Fortress. No, but I'm fascinated by the idea, so I'm gonna check it out. Hidden for I am reading. Oh uh my camera white balance is on my skin. Like I wrote it down. You can't read because I've got it this light up too high, but I wrote it down. I'm gonna check it out later. Thank you. No, I haven't seen it, but I really like the idea of it. Uranium fever. Am I allowed to like to hum copyright songs, or like they're gonna come get me for that too? Like I let's see. There were failed Jedi in the galaxy that existed, at least in the old books. Where did it say the Jedi would be? Those Uh, it's implied in SWTOR. Uh, but that was BioWare's take on it. Um, it's not implied in any of the official movies. It was a significant influence on the 1977 Star Wars film. Cool. Yeah. No. Lucas was a big film buff. Because um, he went to film school. So he would have seen a lot of movies at the time. Flash Gordon was a big influence for him. Mm. Yeah. No. I hadn't heard of that one. I I used to watch a lot more movies before video games got better. And now it's mostly just a competition for my time. I like I've got, you know, something going on the second monitor. But it's yeah, like most shows I ever watched, a lot of them was while I was like farming PvP or like or mining in a video game. Uh, you know, just uh just sort of doing like idling. I really do want to watch like a lot more movies when I get the chance. I've been trying to go back and watch every episode of Star Trek because that's like a show I like a lot, but I haven't seen all of it. I used to watch a lot of movies and now I just read books. Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I used to be a really big reader when I was younger, and I find that I don't have the attention span that I did when I was like a kid and a teen. Um that I sometimes I will sit down my book and pick up my phone, and it's the worst feeling ever because I used to be able to just sit there and like read for hours, like completely immersed, and now I find that I get pulled out of it. When's the next review? Oh, so um so I got sick in early November, and I've had a string of bad luck where I'm sick for the third time in a row since November. I got sick last Thursday. So I've been waiting for my voice to come back so I could make some more videos. I want to talk about Stars Reach, and I've watched several episodes of Star Trek that I haven't just filmed the videos for yet. Because I binged a lot of it while I was sick. So um, soon, soon TM is when the next one's coming. But when the next one's coming, it's not gonna be one video. It's gonna be like five or six that I've got like scheduled to come out every couple of days. So soon because I really want to get to next generation. Of course, Voyager is my favorite. But that I know of because there's some of the series that I haven't even given as much of a chance. Oh, we'll take your time. Yeah, I love the original series. It's got like its own charm to it, but I really want to get to Next Generation because those are like the ones I'm really excited to talk about. So I want to try to get as regular as I can and make a bunch of those. But yeah, I am excited to get through them. Oh, hello. Uh, we've got a sky shark. I'm trying to help out. Yeah. How about this guy? Oh. Space combat is crazy. Because you're floating around and you're trying to mouse aim at things. So you can end up drifting through space. I should have anchored on the ground to shoot them, but it's fun to float around. Like, there's something, here you. He's dropped gas, which is great. Like, I have done a terrible job at showing off this game, but I will, I will talk more about it when I get to when I make the review video. Mm. but I intend to keep following the development of it because I am just so excited this game exists. It's something that's really hard to show, like because it's a feeling, like it feels fun. Like a lot of the way that you interact. If you've ever played a game where like every single bit of it felt tedious, like it's like, oh, this quest could have been an email. Oh, I have to go back to wherever. Oh, I have to do this. Like if you've ever had that just doom feeling playing a game, this is the opposite of that. Like everything like feels fun and easy and accessible. Uh, but you have longer term goals you can work towards. And it's so amazing that they were able to hit that balance. I enjoyed Enterprise, but I stand the temporal stuff they did. Well, they accepted fan scripts, so some of the stuff was you know, a bit out of character. I don't want to I don't want to jump too far like ahead talking about it. I'd rather kind of get there when I get there, but yeah, there were some choices made. It's not a perfect series by far. Like Battlestar Galactica is another one where it's got some really high highs, like some good moments and some very questionable decisions. And the two kind of balance out to make a really interesting show. Um, I didn't care for it when it was first released. Uh, I was um I was a kid. Like watching Enterprise. My I had a neighbor friend, and she was really into the show. Like she was a Trekkie, but I didn't know the word for it. Um the remake. I let me cough for a second, sorry. I really liked the show Caprica, and I liked the Battlestar Galactica remake. I've seen the 78 version, and I don't have as many questions about that one as I do with the remake because they made some really interesting choices, you know? I'm not talking about like Thrace's gender swap. Like, I think Katie Seagal did like Sekoff did a really great job on that show. I'm talking about like some of the plot points. Uh, Once you get past season 4 is solid. I wish Enterprise could have betrayed the Romulan War. That would have been neat. Yeah. Again, I haven't seen every single episode, and that's kind of my goal. Uh, especially like in order because like you used to like you could see it if you planned your life around catching it. Like you had to like be home and watch it at that particular time every week. So you can't like, since then you've been able to go back and binge and watch stuff in order. So like a lot of the stuff at the time it's like, you catch an episode one episode and then months later it's a totally different plot because like you've missed a couple. So I'm looking forward to seeing how cohesive the story is. And it is, yeah. There probably is going to be a lot of missed opportunity. Like have any of you like watched any of the seasons all the way through? Like because I'm really wondering how much that will matter. Like I've seen oh, you caught it on UPN or tape it. Yeah. I've seen all the movies and a lot of them didn't make much sense because I hadn't seen like the season leading up to the movie. Like there was like the one where there was the space whales and I'm curious if like the show ever led into that. Like why was that a thing? Like, Um, whereas, one of the first movies, it was probably so cool for like the actors to get back into their old roles because like they'd done the animated series but they mostly just canceled it and then they get to go and do a movie and there's like that moment where they're looking at the ship and it's like really triumphant but it was unearned in my mind because I hadn't really had the context of the show going off the air and how much time had passed. So I was like, why is seeing the ship such a big moment? But it would make sense that it was a big moment for fans and the actors to be back at it, having like lost the show. So I think watching them in order is going to provide more context than I ever had watching them when I was younger. I'm gonna get a water. I'll be right back. But yeah, well, I won't get into like just absolute random spoilers of Battlestar Galactica. It's a it's a pretty cool show if you haven't seen it. Maybe maybe I'll eventually get to it. I think it's Star Trek's going to take me like a long time to get through because there's just so many seasons of it. Um I probably will talk about random stuff kind of interlaced, so it's not just a Star Trek channel. But I really want to get all the way through that series, so it's kind of like my priority. I'm not super familiar with TOS. I believe the majority of the original series, the most self-contained, with the exception of Wrath of Khan. Okay. Well, yeah, they're the movies are self-contained plots, but there's character building and relationship uh, context that happens, in the show as like kind of a backstory that won't make sense if you just watch the movies. Like a lot of them, you understand the plot, but you miss a lot of nuance between characters. And I really think, at its essence, the show was about humanity. It was like, uh, you go and explore the vast like expanse and learn more about yourself. Two, three, and four are very interconnected. Yeah, like I'm saying like, I just kind of watched them as movies like years ago and not all together and not like, so they felt really disjointed the way that I viewed them. So I'm kind of excited to go back and watch them in order with full context to see if I get more out of it. Yeah. Um one of the big reasons that I wanted to make it into videos is to kind of challenge myself to look at it in other ways and try to find the connections and everything to see it for what it is instead of just disjointed one-off episodes here and there like I have experienced it as like there's some quotes I really like, but I wonder is there even more weight to them than I realize, stuff like that. Um, and there was there are some conflicts that I didn't understand as well because I missed the backstory episodes about them, like or characters like having not caught it with any level of regularity. Okay, what it's 12:30. How long have I been live? 2.5 hours. I have gotten absolutely nothing done in 2.5 hours. My bad. I meant the idea from the original series and the OG films were interconnected plot wise. Oh, okay. They are interconnected. Yeah. I I don't know. I don't know that, but that was my theory that they were. And I feel like I'm going to get way more out of it rewatching them with the context now of having gone through the series. Let me see. All right, uranium. Okay. I'm going to go to the... Gonna go to this building in the middle of nowhere and save. Because one of the only penalties for dying, yeah, you're definitely correct. Is that you lose anything that you've looted since you last saved. Oh, this is somebody's structure. It's kind of cool, but it's not. See, those sky sharks can gank me. I'm just gonna take the portal and save because I don't know where the building's gone. Everything's easy to navigate. I'm just bad at it. Oh, what's this? I want to see if I can mine whatever this white stuff is. Are you a salt? Please be a salt. Palladium. Oh. I'm sure you're very valuable. I just want a crystal so I can make that shield. So that I don't have to be as afraid of every random creature as I am. A lot of the creatures are really designed for you to collaborate with people. Ah! They're coming for me. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna go here. Yeah. Salt Be by the water. No, I tried that, but it was a river that I tried it at. And I couldn't find it there. I found it somewhere that I've been, but I didn't think to make note of it at the time because I didn't know it would be difficult to find it. Yeah, there's as far as I know, there's not an ocean on any of the planets, but there's a river on the temperate kind of planet. And I wasn't able to get salt from the river. I got mud or clay, which is used to craft some stuff, but I didn't get oof. Somebody's being attacked down here. Oh, you're just kind of hurt. Oh, I tried, I'm sorry. Didn't heal her in time. Or him. They appeared as female. Alright, where is the... Okay. I'm gonna... Oh! I was gonna save myself on their camp, but it despawned. I'm gonna save myself on this thing. There we go. Salt by... Okay. I think there's water on this planet, and I can go and kind of check. I think the crystal that I'm looking for, I'm gonna be able to find by... Oh, let me go back to the camp to pull up the skills. There's the ability to apply cold, which will change the... What are they being hurt by? Oh, I just missed them again. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Oh well. I don't understand what they were being hurt by. Are you able to res? I don't know how to. Mhm. Oh. Let's see. Okay. Invisible enemy damage. It looks like you are being hurt too much to heal. Oh well, thanks again. We'll log this bug. Good idea. Okay. Yeah. This is alpha. We're trying to find the problems in the game so that they don't make it into release, so it's good that they found this. Alright. I'm gonna go see if I can find some water. Where? I... Oh. No, that's just a big pit. But I'm gonna see what's down there. I've had a couple of hours. Oh, this is a player-made pit because this is covered in gravel. So, I don't know that this is gonna be anything particularly interesting. But I want to see what this purple stuff is. I've had a couple of salt collected. Oh, I found it. Okay, I'm gonna get at least 20 salt before I leave because I know I need 10 for different recipes. Let me discovered sandstone. That's cool. I don't know why there's salt down here, and I don't know what they did to cause it. But it's only this one patch, which makes me wonder if it's a naturally occurring vein, or if they did something to the ground to make it salty. It looks like over here is another vein of it. Conoglomerate? What? Like, what is that? It's a compound, so I'm sure that, like, each part makes sense as far as what it is. But I don't know. Oh! I have the ability to look for particular things. I just accidentally hit the key to trigger it, and I don't know which key that was. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game that I don't even know how to do yet. But I look forward to finding out how. If anybody can remind me where I was, I'll try to get back to what I was saying, but I, did a mind wipe, basically, when I transitioned out of that zone. It is so hard to remember, like, my train of thought. Was it about, like, Star Trek? Did any of you watch the, like, other, similar ones at the time? Let me refresh this. Okay. Yeah. Just making sure everything's still good. Like, Stargate, Quantum Leap, what are some of the other ones? I mean, like, there was, like, Lex, but, I mean, like, the ones that took it a little more serious. I liked Lex, but it was a very silly show. Farscape? I can't remember a lot of them. Though, like, early to mid-90s was really peak with, like, sci-fi stuff getting made. I wonder what, like, caused the the lack of interest of trying out new ideas and like more of a push towards only making like the big mainstream ones. I guess it's rather risky to start a new IP. There was there was that one. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but they had like a video game tie-in where it was a show and there was a multiplayer game. It was hard to catch Lex. Sci-fi would never rerun the show at a reasonable time. Well, I didn't sleep at reasonable times, so I caught a lot of questionable shows and infomercials and a lot of like really old like kind of trash um movies. When I was at the mercy of whatever they felt like showing. I've always had like sleep problems. So yeah, a lot of the Lex that I saw was in the wee hours of the morning anyway. Um it's still pretty funny. But it doesn't hold up the same way that like Stargate does. Um there was huh, I I don't know. There was Firefly, but there's not a lot of like sci-fi western kind of combined shows that was made even remotely recently, like like the way that Star Trek originally was. Because like Firefly kind of really had that western vibe to it, like Space Frontier. uh Unless I'm forgetting one. Oh, Salt Collected. I almost ran off when this is like exactly what I'm looking for. I For anybody that doesn't know what Lex was, uh, I really liked the Xena and Hercules kind of shows too. Those were like so campy. Um, Babylon 5 was amazing that I slept on for too long. Yes, again, that was one I couldn't even think of. It was a great one. Yeah. Uh, Lex was like a janitor, a woman that was like she was gonna be made into like kind of like a sex kitten, but there was a lizard that got trapped in it. So she was like kind of a sexy lizard lady. Like she just sort of done like a tongue thing. She didn't like have lizard parts. But it was kind of like Barbarella. It was like kind of like a trashy sci-fi show, but it was a played as a comedy. And oh, was it a ghost? Who was like the other like crew member? Uh, I don't know. It was one of those shows where you're like, how did this ever get made? But I'm glad it did. Um, but yeah, like Babylon 5 was like serious business. Like it was a really good show that just didn't have the popularity. Red Dwarf was another excellent one. Yeah, Red Dwarf was another one where it was like uh a combination of like sci-fi and like comedy that just hit exactly right. Like I liked the humor of Red Dwarf. Um that was like a British one. I only saw it as reruns because we we don't get British TV until they're completely done with it in the US. So like, it's like, oh, here's a fresh episode of Monty Python. It's like, thanks for that. Like I get like Doctor Who like 3 seasons late. Um, but I get to see it at all, so that's good. Like, there's probably some amazing Canadian television that I will never know existed. There was a Canadian version of Firefly, where like even yeah, even like the Malcolm Reynolds character, Farscape is still my favorite. Yeah, Farscape's a really good one. Um, it's crazy so many of them got made around the same time. And that's kind of, they were all competing for the same audience, but we would have liked them all if they had just, like not butted them up against each other. I think that was kind of the problem where like streaming works a little better because now it's easier for the same people to watch all of them. But the idea that you had to pick between watching like, like uh any of them that were on around the same time, like therein lies the problem. If like every major network has their own sci-fi show, then they're spreading their audience then instead of having like, you know, 5 hour block of sci-fi shows on different channels. But yeah, I'd like to go back and revisit a lot of them because I feel like I get way more out of them now. Like, having having had more time to oh my gosh. Uh okay. Oh, my brain is starting to I'm getting over being sick. Um and I took some cough medicine right before the stream to try to like, you know, try to make myself a bit more of a semblance of a human. Um Let me see. Concerned because they're looking to remake it. The actors really made that show. Yeah, sometimes when you have really good casting, even though you've got a good concept, you don't have the chemistry between the characters. It's hard to do a remake or do more episodes with that element missing. But yeah, I think I'm starting to just completely like mentally I check out. Um so I'm going to probably end the stream and I will be back on soon. There's a lot more tests of this game that's coming up. There's even one tonight. I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight or not, but in the next couple of days there's going to be a lot more of them. So I'm going to go live fairly randomly, but I will try to have a place where I give some advance warning when it's going to happen. Um, Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so glad that you had fun. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, especially like with this just being like a completely unannounced stream where I just kind of got on. I've really enjoyed the conversation, and I really appreciate anybody that has stopped by. Thanks for this stream. Hey, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Yeah. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. Like I've had fun just kind of chatting while I'm while I'm doing a terrible job at my goals in this game. No, this game is great. I can't wait to talk about it on my channel. Um but yeah. Follow me. I will try to give advance warning. If I got some streams coming up, maybe I'll try to put them on the schedule or something. But I hope to be streaming a bit more. Uh, and I will I will see you soon. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna see if somebody else. I'm pretty sure that switch. I'm pretty sure that and I will mute. Okay. Yeah, we've got Old Man Observer is also streaming the game. So we're gonna raid him. Raid Old Man Observer. Oh, let me copy his name because I am just absolutely there we go. Okay. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you again soon. Um, uh, take care, everybody.